amazing training. Who doesn't want to know about commissions? We're going to talk about commission agent versus agency, commission mindset.
I do.
All right, if you're just chiming in, let us know where you're calling from. Hello, Miss Austin.
Hi, good evening. Michelle Austin from Camden, New Jersey.
All right, New Jersey in the house. I see Miss Tammy here. Hello, Miss Tammy. Good evening.
Tammy, South Fulton, Georgia.
Awesome.
Princess
Welcome.
Map, LA by way of the Bay. Yay, yay.
Yay, Bay Area. Awesome.
Chloe
Hello.
Hamel from beautiful Pearl, Mississippi.
Oh, Mississippi. Mississippi. Did anyone tell you how do you spell Mississippi with one I?
Oh, sorry.
Welcome, Miss Chloe. Welcome to the call. I see Bruce. Hello, Mr. Bruce. How you doing tonight?
I'm actually doing good. I'm in the building one way or another, right here in good old Des Moines, Iowa.
Let's go, Bryce.
Iowa.
Feeling pretty good out here today. We don't got negative temperatures, so I'm rocking with that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mr. Sooney, I see you up there, man. Good to see you.
Let's go, brother.
All right. Awesome. I see Mr. Kyrie Jones putting things up. How are you, sir?
What's up, Kimberly? What's up, family? I'm doing well. Coming out of Philly, I had a good day. I'm blessed to be here.
Awesome. Philly. Man, we everywhere. We everywhere.
We global.
Yes, definitely. Well, welcome to the call. I see my sis, Miss Monica. She's from Diamond Bar. Everyone likes to say Diamond Bar, California. Hello, Mr. David. It was a pleasure to meet Mr. David up here in California. Welcome to the call. All right, and then I see Miss Fola. Hello, Miss Fola. And Miss
Hi,
Smith.
this is Fola from Pennsylvania. How are you?
Hello, Miss Fola from Pennsylvania. I am well.
Good.
All right. Well, hey, it is 5:03 and we just gonna get started. So, hello everyone. My name is Kimberly Howard and I am your business partner. I am one of the business directors on the platform. But hey, I am from Vallejo, California, but I am originally from New York, so I always got love for my East Coast people, right? I was born and raised there. And hey, I'm excited tonight. We're going to learn about how to make money, right? We're going to learn the commission side, right? Of this business. So I'm going to pass the call on to our wonderful host with the most, my sister from another mister. She is my business director, Miss Princess Map. Can you come to the Zoom stage, please?
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. We are in the house. Oh, I see. Yes, baby.
Let's go.
Let's
Come
go.
on. We are the chain breakers. You guys, they ain't ready for us. We show up and we show out. I'm so glad to be here this evening. I am your host. And Jesus, I don't think I've been a host in a while. I'm missing my mind. I think we got some Mr. Han's going to be recognizing some people this evening, but for now, I am here to say hi, you guys. Hey. Let's see here. I see Miss Betty. I haven't seen you in a hot second. And that smile, right? I'm smiling through the camera. So, you guys, there are some rules. If you don't know, I am Princess. I'm your business partner, business director, BD, me, Burning Desire, all of that good stuff. But listen, turn your cameras on. We need to see the pearly whites. We need to see you smiling through the screen because we are the only ones in the world right now making a difference. I'm a big stepper. That's what Mr. Sunni says. And if they counted me out, they don't know how to count. So turn your cameras on. Mute your microphones, or I'm going to clown you if you say something off the wall while somebody's speaking. Okay, dress for success. You guys don't understand. I changed this jacket 100 times trying to figure this out tonight. And yes, take lots of notes. Let's get your notes out. Look at you guys. I can't. They're calling me. Okay, hold on. I'm in a meeting. Yes. No. They're calling me. These are people that want me to sign them up. You guys ain't ready. Let's go. All right. So these are the guidelines. And we have some amazing leaders. All of us are leaders here. But we started right where everyone else started when we came in the door. We started where you were, but we were also recognized as leaders in the beginning. We have a Mr. Sunni Sama who runs up the chart every week, every day. Right? Mr. Brian Swisher, Mr. Mikkel Mecki. You may not have seen him yet, but he is a part of the crew. All right. That's who brought me in this business. And I was on his infinite list. What? I was on his 100-person list. That's how I got here. Ms. Kimberly Howard, we already know we are graced by her presence, her knowledge. She's dropping gems tonight. Mr. Sean Hoyer, I'm trying to get his secret sauce because I'm seeing 4 figures every week. Now, Mr. Hans Augustin, yes, he's graced us with his 24-hour presence now because he's like, this is it, y'all. I done sold everything. I'm all in. Boots on the ground. And Mr. Akil Rashid, one of our specialists that has joined us, he's from New York Live. Who go figure, right? He gives us a secret sauce of what they not doing over here and how he got there. Oh, and moi, Princesa. Yes, Miss Princess. Slide, please. Okay. Now, tonight we are learning about cash flow. What? Show me the money. And it's funny that because I find the people that I'm connected to, they're like, oh yeah, I like making money, but I really like helping people. So we don't really talk about the money. But tonight we're going to talk about the money, right? We're going to talk about the money. Mr. Hans is going to recognize a few people. Marlena, she's bringing it in. She is bringing it in, putting it down. We're going to pick it up along with Kimberly. And we do have 2 great special highlights. I got to meet Mr. Upton in person, and I know he is about the business. And he's got some good things going on that he's going to share with us. And Miss Chloe is doing some amazing things in Pearl, Mississippi. All right, so next slide. And that's MI, crooked letter I, humpback, I. All right, this is what goes on during the week, guys. We have the wealth formula, right? How does money work? We want to be on that call, but we also want to invite people, right? This is how you're going to get your business built up. You got to get them in the room. And then Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, we are learning from the best, learn how to play chess, not checkers, right? We're coming together as a mastermind team. Wednesdays, we have the $1 Million Baby call that you want to invite everybody. Let me tell you a little secret here. If you don't know, kids is the easiest to get signed up on here. We get them in that room. They're like, my kid can be a millionaire. What? Get them in the room. Get them in the room. These are not just for us, guys. And it helps our business. So easy to help bring on new business partners as well. We have the Small Business Retirement Program run by our leader, Mr. Brian Swisher. All righty. And then we also have a business webinar that tells us how to get into business partners with LinkedIn. There's a young man named Stephen Taylor, and I think all his crew is from LinkedIn. And I'm still sitting here trying to figure out the gems, but I got to get in the meeting. See how he did it, right? And guess what, guys? We were asking about that library, and Sunni went into his little box of goodies and was like, oh, y'all don't want a library, huh? You want a library? I got a library for you. He got together and slam dunk a whole YouTube channel. What does that do? You guys got to tap in. You can share that channel. You can get information. If you missed a meeting, we got the information right here. No more excuses. I can't find it. Where's the library? I don't know where to look. No. It's right here on that YouTube channel. Go ahead, subscribe. We need to build the numbers up. And then we have the Getting Started Right course. This is where you get certified so you can be in the field. You want to go ahead and join that. If you are a new agent, you want to make sure your other agents are on there if you aren't new, because this is how we run this system. We have systems in place to help you build a phenomenal agency. Now, the business overview, I love that. I love the business overview because you get to invite clients as well as potential business partners. You want to get on that business overview. It happens on Saturdays. You guys see all the codes, so I'm not going to break it down. I can't even squeeze open my screen to tell you what everything looks like. But we also have the ERG Academy. If you're wondering how Hans got a team of army going in every school, and when Hans came, he was like, I don't know, I'm breaking the rules. I'm going in hard, and I'm talking to principals and security. I'm showing them badges, and he made. I'm gonna tell. This is cash flow. He done made a lot of cheddar, guys. He done made a lot of cheddar. When you see him at convention, pull him to the side. Touch his jacket. That's what I did last time. That's why I think things was going good for me this year, right? And then the Wealth Showdown. The Wealth Showdown. We want to know, how does money work? But that Wealth Showdown really tells you about the IUL versus the real estate, right? We are understanding how these different things work in the world. How are people buying real estate saying this is the best investment, got to do it this way? Well, Mr. Hans, he's been a big step for all this time, and he can tell us the secrets of how to do that. So you want to get in there and invite your guests. These all help us to have new business partners. That's on Thursday nights. And then if you don't know what our secret sauce is, if you take a good percentage of our agency, we're tapped in on, for us at 6 a.m., I believe, over here in California. We are on that prayer call. There's been days where I had to pull over like, oh, Lord, yes, Father. And it is a blessing to come together and start my day just in order. So get on that call. We have a national meeting every Monday. You want to get on, see what our business partners are doing across the board and throughout the United States. All right, let's roll them. Move that screen. Okay. All right, so here, everything I just told you about, now we can see what time it is, right? I want you to take a picture. I want you to look at those QR codes and show up. Okay, we show this every time we have a meeting, guys. Show up, get people in the room. Let's fill these spaces up, because if you don't, somebody's coming that will. And I'm not that person. I'm not about to stand in line. I don't want to stand in line. I was here first. What do you mean you're going ahead of me? Wait a minute. Hold on. Come on, guys. They got everything we need. No excuses. You showed up, God's going to show out. All right. All righty. That's my guy, Mr. Hans Augustin. Let's go ahead. Drop the mic. Come on, we need some music. I'm passing it on to you, Mr. Augustin.
Let's go.
I think Mr. Samad was going to do it, but I'll still follow through one way because I just saw a text. Is that true, Mr. Samad, or did you want me to continue?
No. Go ahead.
Well, welcome. Thank you, Miss Princess. I appreciate you. My name is Hans Augustin. I'm actually one of the business directors here in New Jersey. If this is the first time you met, go ahead and unmute yourself. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Unmute yourself. We're going to celebrate some of our winners this week. Let's go to the next slide. This is for May 4th through the 10th of 2026. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. All right, Mr. Shuni Samad.
Let's get some on.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Way to go.
All right, Mr. That was correct. The East Coast is on fire. Thank you, Miss Michelle Austin, recruit. All right. Another.
Go, Ari.
All right, way to go.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, Marlena. Let's go.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. All right,
All
Mr.
right,
Hoyer.
Sean.
Let's go.
164 in points. Let's go.
Let's go,
go.
Sean.
Thank you,
Let's
Sister
go.
Dexter Taylor,
Let's
697.
go. Let's
Go.
Go,
That's
Mr. Shuni
amazing.
Samad, 632.
Let's
And
go.
Mr. Bohr,
Go.
Congratulations.
Go, Mr.
604.
Bohr.
Congratulations. Let's
Way to
go.
go. Way to go.
Bring it in.
Congrats.
Let's
Right.
go,
Let's
Miss
go.
Mary.
Let's go.
Congratulations.
Congratulations and congratulations. Let's go. Thank you, Mr. Sean Hoyer.
All right.
One life
Let's
submitted.
go. Let's go.
Dexter
Let's
Taylor.
go.
Let's go.
Congratulations.
Mr. Hoyer, Mr. Taylor.
Congratulations. All right, Mr. Samad and Ms. Bohr.
Let's go.
Congratulations on the life application
Yes.
submitted this week. Miss Jean Santos, congratulations. Miss Nadine, congratulations. Jacqueline, congratulations. Oh, everybody won.
Writing.
And then, all right, Mr.
Yes,
Sean.
sir.
Sean. Application submitted. Congratulations.
Right.
And who else we got?
Yes.
Keep
All right.
moving.
All
Great
right, all
job.
right.
Winning the party.
Oh,
Willie
Marlena,
Howard
let's
has
do
joined the
this.
party. And Miss Marlena
I see you.
reading an annuity
Let's
application. Let's go. Congratulations.
bacon. Let's
The West Coast is on fire. Let's go.
Let's go.
Now. Let's make sure you get registered, but let's celebrate the ones who are going to conventions. I'll see you guys in Dallas. Mr. Samad, I will see you in Dallas. Mr. Augustine, I'll see myself in Dallas. Register.
You in Dallas.
All right, Miss Kim
Yes,
Howard and
sir.
Miss
Yes, sir.
Elena Smith. I will see you guys in Dallas.
You in Dallas.
Gabriella and Miss Monica.
Right.
Miss Monica will not only be
Let's
walking
go.
the
See you
stage,
in
but see
Dallas.
you in Dallas. It's the Baskervilles.
Hey,
Nolan, Miss
Gonna see you in the
Sherry,
building.
Miss Coney.
Let's go.
Welcome and see you in Dallas. Miss Fuller.
Philadelphia in the
in
let's go.
Dallas.
Let's go.
All
You in
right,
Dallas.
Okay, okay.
Let's go,
And Miss
Jesus.
August
Let's go,
Shaw.
Tanisha.
You
Let's
guys
go.
in Dallas.
go.
Yes,
Let's
live
go.
and in person.
Let's go. Miss
Let's go,
Afshan
Afshan.
and Miss Christine,
All right,
congratulations.
Go. Let's
See you
see
guys
you in
in
Dallas.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Yes,
Go.
there
I
we
see
go.
you.
Mr. Jones, I will see you guys
You in Dallas.
Let's go. Let's go.
Better.
One more
Okay.
time.
Hey, Betty.
Okay, Betty Hall.
Let's go,
Oh my
baby.
You in
goodness.
Dallas.
Let's go. Let's go. All right. One more thing before I pass it back to my host. You see all the people we're going to be partnering. Make sure you are on the list next week. Miss Princess Map, I congratulate you and excited about seeing you in Dallas. I'm going to pass the call back over to you.
Oh my goodness. We are filling up the room. I think we're going to take half the space, guys. This is incredible. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. You guys just don't know. Congratulations, everyone, for your effort and your work, turning your business, okay, into dollars, making sense. All righty. So I am your host, and we have some special people tonight that we're going to be speaking to. And I think if you guys can spotlight me, I mean, can you guys see me? Okay.
You are seen. You are seen.
All right, there we go. We have some special people tonight that we wanted to just highlight and recognize that that are doing some amazing things in the field. So I am going to bring up my sister. I was going to say, ladies first, they already know. I'm going to bring up my sister, Miss Chloe. How are you doing this evening?
Pretty good.
Awesome. Well, you know, it's an honor to sit here with you because I was the one that had the pleasure of bringing you in the business from LinkedIn. And I'm going to tell you guys, I was like, I think I'm going to try the LinkedIn again. And the next day, Miss Chloe and I connected and she joined the business. So it was pretty amazing to see the system work. And she has been a light to my team, to, you know, just being in her presence and really working with her. So can you please tell us, I know you've been out there, you've plugged in, you're doing everything right. What are you actually doing on your side of the world? And tell us where you're from. Give us a little bit of background about you.
So there's a lot. There's a lot of moving parts. Life has been lifing for me. I went from homeless to homeowner in 5 years. From 2014 to 2019, I was homeless, but by 2023, I bought my first home.
Wow.
I'm very proud of that accomplishment. Not many people can say that they were able to do that. So I have used that to leverage my platform. I'm very big on being on social media, being present, and helping out my community in that same way. So while life has been lifing for me lately, I got really down in the dumps. And my realtor, the one who sold me the house, she's one of my closest friends. She was like, hey, I have a networking event with a couple other realtors in the area. Y'all, I almost did not go to that meeting. I was not feeling it. I was not feeling the best that day. And I was like, you know what? I got to suck it up. I've got Princess out there rooting for me. I got Mr. Hans Augustin telling me just to go for it. I'm going for it. Went there, got 125 contacts.
Wow. Wow. That's faith walking on water.
Let's go.
Congratulations. Yeah, let's go. Let's unmute, guys, for that. That's a
Congratulations.
What?
Yes,
Let's
that
go.
Congratulations.
She was hungry.
Yes.
Okay. And was.
Yes. That's amazing. So you gotta tell us more, because I know it doesn't stop there. I know with 120 people now, you're not just twiddling your thumbs.
No. Like I said, there's a lot of moving parts. I've got my podcast. I've got people lined up to speak on there. One of them, she does in her business, she gets people out of debt very fast, especially when they have a home. So you can pay off a mortgage of around $200,000 in 5 years. So she's going to speak about how to do that on my podcast. So I've got her lined up. I'm trying to convince her to come to OIC, because I'm like, I need you in here.
Yes, that's relationship building.
Would be great.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's the go ahead, I'm sorry.
A lot of it is that I have to get out of my own head. I'm very bad at publicly speaking, if you can't tell. I think too much, and when I think too much about things, it stops me from doing things. And if I stop doing things, I stop growing. So in order for me to just grow and be myself, sometimes I just have to fail and know that I'll be okay after. And I think that's something that will resonate with a lot of people.
Well, it's funny because, well, I don't say that this was a fail, but the fact that when you came in, you plugged into the system, you're like, what do I have to do? You love the culture. You did what you had to do. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, go, right? You had your grand opening, and it wasn't the best turnout, but you didn't stop there. So that, I say a lot of people would use that as an excuse that this doesn't work, but you kept plugging in and finding a way to push through. So now getting those 120 names in order and putting them in addition to your other list, your infinite list, and really doing, the same duplicating process. That's what it's about. And going through those, and it may not be today, maybe it'll be tomorrow, but you now have, a lot to work with. So that's pretty amazing. So you should be very, very proud of yourself. Is there any, golden nuggets you want to drop, or, tell anyone, you're new in the industry, is that correct?
Yes. So for anybody that doesn't know me, I first started out with Symmetry. And I really disliked the culture there. They were very greedy, but not in the right sense, if that makes sense. They weren't starving to serve their community. They were starving for themselves. And I was trying to explore other options. And then I ran into Miss Princess on LinkedIn. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it, because why not? I will say this. One thing that you guys can leverage, if you guys have them in your area, is swamp meets. You can set up a table at a swamp meet for like $50. Get yourself your little goodie bags. Load them up with good little nuggets. I have this one. It's a 30-second financial clarity check. And on the back, all the webinars. And it's got all my contact info.
You didn't share that secret with me.
Amazing.
I love it.
So when they sign up, they already have my name. They have my number. They have my license number on here. They know what I do. And they see all the different webinars.
Very nice. Very nice. I like that. You might have to teach on that. We might have to pass the mic to you. That is awesome. And this was something you were doing, right? You were going out into the community with some other things, the fresh market places. And so this, you just really said, hey, and you have a little stand and people are coming by and you're signing them up. Wow, that is a gem. That's a gem. You guys put some ones in the chat. We might need to get you to send that over so we can back office. Did you see that? Everybody. But yeah, that's some great stuff, Chloe. I'm very, very, very proud of you. And I know this is only the beginning of hey, a future. We're running hard, just so you know. Team Princess running hard. I don't say team, but
I'm at a 100-mile sprint.
Yeah, get your shoes, tie your shoes up, because we got 4 years. No excuses. We all got to split this island and got to figure out who's going to split this island with me. So yes, thank you, honey. Wonderful work. And keep up the good work, and I'll talk to you later.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Isn't that amazing? Oh my gosh. So she got 120 names over here, and then she pulls out the secret list. She didn't show me that, guys. She pulls out, she told me about it, but I never saw it. What is that? The QR codes they can scan. We do that, when we do our events. I know we're booking people right on the spot, but I never thought to put every QR code on a card. So that is some great nuggets. That's why you gotta come to these meetings. These meetings are priceless. You don't know what everyone's doing, and it really helps our business. So let's go ahead and bring up another amazing individual, Mr. Upton. I had the pleasure of meeting you, I believe a week or two ago, and you and your lovely wife. And I was so impressed. I just wanted to say, meeting you in person and your presence and your authority, just you fill the room. You fill the room, just so you know that. And so, yes, I got the chance to talk to you, and I understand you are in the Sacramento area, which I'm very familiar with, and you're doing some new things. And I saw you kind of like sit back and assess where we are. Can you tell us what are you doing in your community or your parts of the woods, and how did that fire get sparked?
Well, thank you for that kind introduction, Miss Mapp. When I do fill the room, I try to do it with a positive impact.
You are.
And so thank you for telling me that. That's always my goal. I'm new to OIC. I do have a little bit of a background in the financial services, financial consulting space with New York Life last year. That was a short-lived experience. And there were sort of family reasons that caused the relocation for me, which was the reason that experience got cut short. Prior to that, I spent over 20 years in hospitality, managing bars, restaurants, different teams. And as you might be able to imagine, even if you're not involved in it directly, hospitality is a thing that similar to what we do here. It's not really about the product. It's about the experience, the feeling that we provide to people. And those are the people who are most successful in that. And as I decided to transition into financial services, I saw a lot of what's the term I'm looking for? Just transitional skills that applied in one area that applied to another. Because just the same, and we've all been into a restaurant, into a bar, into a hospitality type experience where we feel like we're being sold something versus where the person is trying to get to know what are our likes and dislikes, and then we move from there. So I felt like moving into this space was very natural. It made a lot of sense to me because, as we talked about already on this call, it's all about making connections, developing a relationship with people. The difference, I think, in hospitality, although in certain venues I built up, people that started out as just customers that have become lifetime, like I'm no longer working in that place, but they're my friends. So it's about creating an impact, having an impact on people, and not just that transaction. But if I can make a lasting impact, make an impression on someone, let them know that I'm here to provide hospitality, a service for them, they're going to keep coming back to me. Maybe the restaurant down the street has a better sandwich or whatever. But if they feel invited into the space that I'm providing, they're going to keep coming back to me every single day. So I take all that mindset, that sort of approach to hospitality, and I apply that to the work that we're doing here. Again, I'm brand new in OIC. I've actually yet to write any business, but I am just trying to carry forward the energy and the vibes that have already been laid forward by the leadership here, the mission, the mission for outreach that we have into our different communities. It sits strongly with me. And so some of the things I've been starting, and again, we've yet to see sort of fruit on the vine for this, but a harvest takes time. So one of the things that I've started out of coming in groundwork that I've started to lay out of visiting you all in Vallejo and witnessing what you did there and your financial services festival, I began to envision an outreach into the community that I'm transitioning out of, which is the hospitality community. And again, I worked 20 years, mostly in the Bay Area. I'm back in the Central Valley now, which is a much smaller market. But I'm remembering myself being a young, late 20-something, early 30-something hospitality professional in a very developed market that's just making a lot of cash and without any real clear understanding of what I should be doing with that cash, right? So maybe I was saving some of it. Maybe I wasn't saving it in the highest, in the best vehicle to get a return on interest or a return on my rate. And, sometimes I was just spending it. And so I have begun to develop an outreach, reaching back into the hospitality community to develop a short form series of, I don't want to call them seminars. I've decided on calling them workshops. And I've already had a bunch of several phone interviews with people that are going to develop into not only, I think, collaborative partners, but also potential clients. So, I'm just opening up a channel to have conversations with people. As I've been told from the very beginning, not only here in OIC, but from my starting days at New York Life, that is literally all that this job is starting conversations with people, right? And I'm really excited about collaborating with not only the people on this platform, but the people that I've reached out to, the people in my industry, the people outside of my industry. I've gotten really good feedback just from asking questions about what people want to hear about, right? So I put a poll to a WhatsApp group that I'm still part of, which is it's a San Francisco hospitality community specifically for bartenders and people who work in restaurants. And there's sort of a couple different channels within that community. And one is simply just for discussions, right? So I put a poll just saying that I want to talk about financial literacy and I want to bring this outreach to the hospitality community, and what other topics might people be interested in talking about. And I made it like a multiple choice. So we had financial literacy, health and wellness, mental health, and then I just put other. And so I've gotten a lot of feedback on other too. But overwhelmingly, more than half of the votes are for financial literacy. So I know there's a demand for this type of information, even within this, with my specific audience. And I think if I could identify one area where I failed the first time I tried to start getting into the space, is I didn't do what I'm doing now enough. I didn't reach out enough, right? And I think sort of because of just a myriad of different experiences that I've had, I'm okay with being rejected at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'll just, take that one on the chin and move on and talk to the next person. Because maybe the next person is ready. And maybe that first person that said no, maybe they're not ready now, but they'll be ready later. And so to me, and I hope this is hopeful to everyone. Again, I started out by saying I haven't actually written any business yet. But for me, it's about building that pipeline, right? Like, I might be dating myself right now, but I don't know if anybody remembers a movie starring Kevin Costner from the 80s called Field of Dreams. But, if you build it, they will come.
Yes.
And, they haven't come yet.
They're
but
coming.
I'm still building. I believe that they're coming.
No, excuse me for interrupting you for a second.
Please.
I think the words behind you says it all, besides those OIC, but you're creating a movement. To me, I love how you recognize that there is a need in that industry you just came from. That is huge. That you're seeing, like, you're leaving that industry and you're transitioning, but you're saying, hey, wait a minute, I'm in these groups, I'm in these spaces where people need me. And you're stepping up saying, okay, guys, what do you need? And that's big. And I think we all can really look at it in that point of view with where we're coming or we're transitioning from. Can you share a little bit about, that industry that you're transitioning from, and how you personally, have you're looking at it like, who could you help? Like, who's that one person that you see, like you said, when you started?
Sure.
Wasn't.
Well, I envision myself as a young professional. I'm aware that markets are different across the US and across the world, but especially in the Bay Area, as a young professional working in the hospitality industry, I mean, that can be a career trajectory. And until very recently, it was for me. I've worked internationally. I've had lots of great experiences. I've made a lot of money in that space. But if I'm thinking about the young person that I want to reach, it's me when I was 20, when I was making all that money early, but I had no idea how to use it. Right? If someone had told me the things that I've learned in the last 2 years at that time, I'd be in a much different place now. Right? So if I can help somebody else in that same space, I would be remiss if I didn't. I'm also aware at the same time that simply by exposing myself, as a conduit, as a resource, maybe I'm going to reach some other people who I'm not even aware of yet. People who didn't even have my, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking about myself, but maybe there's some other people who aren't me, who don't have my experience, who also need to hear this. And simply by me putting myself out there,
yes,
they're possibly going to be exposed to the information. And so on that note, I want to say, just like, in the past, I've always held myself up because I always wanted it to be perfect before I published it. And now I'm deciding, no, we don't need to do that. Like, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We
Yes.
can correct, I'm adopting the sort of software model. We can fix the bugs later.
I love it. Oh my gosh, I love that. I'm gonna write that way. We could fix the
Right.
bugs later.
We
Well,
can
you
fix
know
the
what?
bugs later.
You have to really just give yourself a hand clap because the fact that, you sold your service for so many years in that industry and you pulled back with a magnifying glass and said, well, wait, what can I do? I know your seed of service is going to have a harvest that's going to blow your mind, and you're moving in faith with something that's new, but you're pioneering it. So it's not going to look like anyone because no one's done it. So you gotta just move and build it as you go. And I know you're gonna blaze up blaze up the trail. I'm
And
excited.
we've gotten so much good feedback already, and I'm excited to develop this with you and anybody else who's in the Bay Area or Sacramento.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of good feedback from venue owners, from brand representatives. There's a thing there's a thing called the United States Bartenders Guild. I'm now in touch with the president of that,
Wow.
which oddly enough, I never actually joined as a bartender, but that
Yeah.
provides a lot of resources, right? So that's just another collaborative effort.
Yeah. And I would also say, this is where your BD comes in handy because again, there's so much that you know right now, but you can leverage
Right.
what your BD knows and getting
Right.
him or her into that space to have those talks will it's a breeze. So you don't have to worry about anything. You just show up,
No,
you
no.
connect the dots. Then that's what feels good here is that we bring these scenarios and situations and you're not alone. So you don't have to be perfect because I'm like you. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to make sure this bow looks like this. I'm going to make sure this fits this way. And I want to know the time is now and everyone needs it. Like you said, that space, you're in groups where there other people are like, hey, what about me? So I just
Yep.
say keep going, stay connected, we have a system, use the system and duplicate. You're gonna be fine. I'm gonna see you on the
100%.
stage. I'm gonna see
100%.
you. You guys, let's unmute for Mr. Upton. He's the
Let's go,
business.
Mr. Upton. Let's go.
Let's go.
Go,
Mr.
David.
Upton.
Let's go.
Or nuggets of why you don't want to miss this pod meeting. It's not just another meeting, but everyone is out in the community doing certain things, making a difference in their backyard. We're spread out, so we can do the same thing in other backyards. So I just commend you. Can't wait to definitely connect with you. I got a godmother in Roseville, so I'm gonna be on the golf course, and I'm gonna be, hey, David, come over. We need to talk. But yes, this is wonderful, you guys. Okay. We have the young lady step into the table, and I need to make sure that I need to remind you, if you have not, this is a public service announcement. This is a supreme service announcement. You have to register for convention. If you have not, back office, please drop that link as we are transitioning into our next segment. We have we're going to learn about the money. Show me the money. Okay. If you guys ever see that YouTube, the young lady, I forget, I think it's Abbott. She's like, ooh, you got money. Right. So we want to show us the money tonight. I believe Miss Kimberly is going to be stepping up and Marlena. Okay. And, get your pens, your papers out. Let's see how money really works for us. We showing everybody else, but Marlena, I need to know about my money.
Well, know about your money. Okay. I would like to say, I think, KJ, you registered, right, for convention? Yes, so congratulations for
Yes,
registering.
ma'am.
We have to put a disclaimer. Get your registration in by a certain date to be recognized on the next pod meeting. So we don't miss people. But So yeah, like Princess said, we are all about making sure we're in the right place. It feels good. We're all aligned, and that's very important. But we are still business owners, essentially, right? We need to understand how our businesses work. If you guys have come onto orientation before, you know I talk about um, making sure you go into your back office, you look at all of that information, right? We have a home office that puts in a lot of work for us as agents so that we can focus on going out and helping people. So there's so much information back there. Again, all of the stuff that we go over, nothing is new. Like Suni says, there's no new information, right? This team just knows how to package it and deliver it for a way that speaks to us here, right? We are all supposed to be here together. But my previous years, we talked a lot about the the technical things, right? About the money, about how to calculate the money, about when you get paid for what, for hold 1 second. I don't want to burn my rice. I'm sorry, guys.
Yes. So as Miss
Here.
Mardina comes back,
I'm here. I'm here. I'm
okay.
sorry. My children are going to come home hungry. Okay. But anyways, like I was saying, all of the information, nothing is new, and it's all in your back office. So if you have not logged into your back office, number one, make sure that you go in there, you look at the business resources and all of those things. But today we are going to talk about how to calculate your commissions, right? Before I start, so we're going to do this in a three-part series. This is what I love about this team also, is that it's teamwork, right? So I'm going to do the first part, just see how to calculate your compensation, your commissions, and then we're going to go into the agency building and the expansion, right? So I'm going to do the first part. Ms. Kimberly Howard will come in on the agency level, and then Hans Augustin will close us out on the expansion, right? 18 BDs, that he knows that language well. So he's going to train us on that and how to understand it for our own businesses, right? But who on here has been on there, has logged into their back office this week? All right, Mr. Tip, wonderful. It should be everybody. And I'll tell you a secret if you don't know, the person that brought you in and possibly the BDs can see the last time that you logged in. They can see it, okay? So if you say you logged in and you're asking for information, they can go back and say, oh, okay, it looks like the last time you're in here was March of 2025, right? Some things have been updated. So make sure that you are logging in. There are updates all the time back there. I'm not going to take too long, but of course, also, I know if you guys have heard of the playbook, right? They talk about the playbook all the time when we are on that Monday meeting. And if you have not looked at it, just know it's the same things that we talk about here, right? Just packaged with OIC branding. But I'm sorry? But all the things in there we talk about. I was just looking at it right before. Am I sharing it? Not yet. Okay, I was looking at it right before, and all of this stuff is in our getting started right, our orientation, right? Who we are as a company, what is our mission, our vision, your steps to success, what you should be doing, right? All of this should sound familiar to everybody. So it's not that we are doing anything different. We are doing the playbook, it just with a little supreme sauce on it, right? So it's all here, but the part that we're going to talk about today is the compensation and how to calculate that. So does anybody have a specific question? I'll ask that first about how commissions work. Do you guys understand the basics, the levels that we have here, all of that stuff? Any questions
I'll ask a
right
question
now?
for everybody.
Yes, sir.
So, if I were to submit a policy,
Mm-hmm.
and am I going to get the full 12 months right away? How does that pay out?
What an amazing question, Mr. Samad. So if you log into your if you log into your back office and go to business resources, there's a section in here that says compensation and commission grids, right? And the one that I want everybody to look at, download, save, is this one that says OIC Associate Compensation Policy, right? This explains to you how it is broken down. Also here in this playbook, I don't know, I lost words right there. But in this document here, it breaks it down a little bit more, right? So the way that OIC does it is for life business, okay? For life business, if you're doing an IUL or a term policy, here it tells you this is for Advance for Life, right? You will get 75% of the full compensation that is owed to you, right? So it shows you here how to break that down. First, do you guys know how we get points? Who knows how we get points? Let's start there. Oh, my sound is not good. You can't hear me that well?
I can hear you.
Yeah, everybody? Okay. Who knows how we get points? Anybody?
Is that a trick question or like
No, for real. Like, what are our points?
submitted business?
Submitted business.
Annual
Dollars.
submitted.
Submitted
Yeah.
business.
Submitted business is correct, but the way that we get points, like target premium, things like that, right? So we calculate our points based on the premiums that are paid into the plans, okay? So if somebody is paying $100 into a term policy, we're going to take that annual premium, and that will be our points. So 100 times 12 is 1,200 points, okay? For IULs, it's a little bit different because they do have the option to overfund. So when you are doing those illustrations, you're going to look for a number that says target premium, which usually is going to be a little bit less than what they're putting in monthly what they're putting in annually. Again, because of that overfunding, right? We're helping them build their cash value as well. We are getting paid on the insurance part. So if you were to submit a policy, let's say this is a term policy, $250 a month, 3,000, is that right? No, 500, 3,000, 3,000 a year will be your 3,000 target premium, which are your points, right? So most of our carriers pay out 100% of those points. And again, you can look in this back office for that to confirm. National Life Group for sure, they do 100% of your target premium. And if you are an associate, right, your contract level is 50%. So the way that you're going to get paid out from this is they're going to take those points times your contract level, which will give you $1,500 total commission. Okay, but you're not going to get that total commission up front. They're only going to advance you 75%. And they do this to help us lessen chargebacks, right? We want to make sure that our clients are going to keep their policies long term. So as they hit that 1 year mark, you start to get the rest of your 25% advance, right? So you get 75% upfront when that initial payment goes through for your policy. And then the last 3 months of that year, so month 10, 11, 12. Actually, I'll just show you this because I did it on here and I forgot. All right, you guys can see this, right? So we'll do this example here is 2,400 points times your contract level of 50% as an associate. Your expected commission would be 1,200, right? So if that happened this month, it gets paid out, you would get $900 this month, right? Or whenever that policy is paid up, that first premium is paid. In months 10, 11, and 12, they will give you the remainder of that 25%. Okay, and they break it down into those 3 months. So the remainder of the 1,200 is $300. So you get 100 in February, 100 March, 100 in April. Does that make sense so far to everybody?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you don't, but it is a nice surprise. I actually really like this structure because, you're still getting money throughout later on in the year. Maybe it's a little slower. Look, you have all these policies that you did earlier in the year. You're getting paid out the remainder of the 25%. So that is how you do life commission calculations, right? I don't know if I made it more confusing for you guys or a little bit clearer, but yes, Mr. Samad.
So you mean to tell me that if I write a policy and it does charge back, right? That because we get paid through OIC instead of directly from the carrier, then the chargeback doesn't roll up to me directly. I get the opportunity to write more business and kind of settle the chargeback with between myself. So OIC is acting like a liaison between me and the carrier. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Not exactly. My kids haven't know. Saying like they see me talking. Okay. Not exactly. Not exactly. If there is a chargeback, you will still be charged back depending on what point of the year that person cancels their policy. But if you have a policy in force for a full year, then you will no longer get a chargeback, right? So that is how it works. They advance us at 75%, and as we get closer to that year, knowing that you're not going to get a chargeback, you get the remainder, right? So they are saving you a portion of that chargeback, right? And holding it just in case. So your chargeback won't be as big if it does. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes. Everybody else more confused or you're good? We're good. Okay. So the good thing about rollovers, right? We talk about rollovers and people say that's, the way where you get bigger money or faster promotions because rollovers, you have the opportunity to get that full 100% upfront after the plan is in force for 30 days, right? So for a rollover, you don't really talk about that on here, huh? Sorry. So for annuity commissions, the way that it's calculated for annuity commissions is a little bit different. So you would take that rollover amount, which is okay. So let's say this example here, right? You have a client who has 500,000, $500,000 to roll over, right? If they have $500,000, the way that it is calculated here is most likely the product that you will use has a 6.5% commission rate. But all of that is in your back office for you to check the commission grid and confirm. But for National Life Group, the majority of the products that we use for annuities are 6.5%, right? So what you would do is to calculate how much your points will be, right? So if we are going for 80,000 points business director, rollovers could really help you get there, right? So if we did a $500,000 rollover, multiply that by that 6.5% commission rate, that would be 32,500 points, right? That's a pretty big chunk of your 80,000. Do more of those and you have your points, right? So the way you would then from there calculate your commission is just whatever your contract level is. So again, if you were at a 50% contract level as an associate, that's $16,250. It's a pretty good month, right? Even if you just do one rollover. So that's why we talk about rollovers and the importance, right? Because one, people really need us to help them. People are losing money in their 401ks. They need a place to put their money that is safe, where they have peace of mind that they're not going to lose it as the market continues to fluctuate. So it's important to get out there and have those conversations because not only are you helping them, you're helping yourself, you're helping your business, your organization, your family. So the same thing, the last part is the same way to calculate 403B business, right? And it may seem a little different because you are calculating based on what they contribute monthly, right? So if we look at this example here, if somebody is contributing $500 a month into a 403B, that is still an annuity, right? So it's still calculated the same way. So you would do 500 times 6.5%, which is 3,250, and then times your contract level, right? Which is 1,625 per month. So if you have somebody that's contributing $500 into a 403B every month, 1,625 is going to your account every month, right? Initially, that can sound small, but as you have 15, 20, 30, 50 403B clients, that's when you're really starting to build that business, right? Now you have this monthly payment of, an extra $500 coming in every month, an extra $700 coming in every month from 403 business that you've already put in place throughout the years, right? So although that doesn't sound as exciting as 16,000 from one rollover, you still have to play for the long game also, right? So that 403 business is still great, especially if the person you're sitting with that doesn't have anything in place for their future, right? So that's how you calculate 403B business. I just wanted to do that beginning portion. This is the baseline of how we get paid here. But as you guys have heard many, many, many times, there's so much more to just being a personal producer here, right? Kimberly is going to talk about business development, going from an agent to an agency and how that changes your income. And then Hans will continue into this agency expansion and what that really infinite income looks like. Yes, Miss Tyresha.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. I actually read the other document you were presenting to us. So at the beginning, it said family business is on an as earned type of thing. So could you elaborate a little bit more on that, of how that looks, what that looks like?
Which document was it?
Yeah, I think it was this one at the beginning. It talks about any family business or business partners. At
So
the very
as earned
beginning.
is just how I explained the 403B, right? As they are contributing, you're getting paid on a monthly basis. I honestly have not seen it pay out like that though. Even though it says it on here, like even for my personal policy, I've seen it pay out like the other plans. I don't know if other people out here have experienced the same, but for my children, for myself, it hasn't paid out on as earned. It still pays out like the rest.
Okay. Yep. I saw that at the beginning, so I just kind of wanted to get that clarified.
Yes, but that's what as earned is, just how I explained that 403B. So as they pay monthly, you get monthly commissions.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions for me before I pass it to Miss Kimberly Howard? Going once, going twice. All right. Well, I will pass it to my sister who's going to teach us how she became
I'm going to
a business
actually talk
director.
about mindset.
Okay, she's going to talk about mindset. And then we're going to go back
then-
to the money with Hans.
Yes. Because Miss Marlena knows I hate commissions because
She
I
does.
I do. And that's why I love her for this, breaking down how commission works, because it is so important, right? To know, okay, how do I get paid now? What does that mean? But before Hans goes into the agency and expansion part of the commissions, I'm going to talk about agent versus agency. Okay, because you saw the agent, right? What you can make, which is still amazing money, right? But I will put in the chat if you're here to build an agency, and then put a 1 in that chat if you're here to build, if you're just here to make extra money. And there is no wrong answer here, because when I first got into the industry, I only wanted to make $2,000 to pay for my mortgage, right? I didn't have much belief yet because I was new to the industry. I needed to see how Miss Marlena said, how money works first, right? How can I get paid? That was my mindset. Right. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about mindset, and Hans is going to go back to the numbers, because I feel that this is so important to really understand why you're here in OIC, right? Because really this platform is an agency model. Okay. Let me say that again. this platform is really an agency model where you can make unlimited income here. Okay. So I want to take you from the difference between earning a living, right? Which is okay. I didn't, it's okay because that's when I started. I'm like, this is a good side hustle. But when I came to OYC, that's when my mind shift to an agency mindset. Okay. So the agent mindset, right? If you're new on this call, it's okay, right? It's really built around personal output. Everything rises and falls on you and what you produce, right? Personally, right? Your clients, your calls. This mindset drives strong individual performance and it creates a ceiling that's hard to kind of break through. Because you could, talk about, hey, how much did I make? Success is measured by your own personal production alone. So your income is a direct reflection of an individual effort each and every day. So when I first was just me myself, if I didn't put out or if I wasn't making calls, I wasn't producing. I wouldn't get a check, right? And I have a full-time job. I'm a mom. But when I saw how an agency market, right, commission works, I'm like, man, I've been focused on this festival that happened in May, and my mindset was not, closing sales. But because I build people, I was still getting a check every single week. How amazing is that? Getting a check weekly when you're not personally producing yourself, right? So trading time for commissions, right? So your earnings are tightly basically to your hours. So if you stop working, you stop earning. Okay. The income equation never changed. So you got to put in more effort, more pay. So I want you to take, a reflection of yourself. Like, why are you here? Okay. You know, um, is it just to make a couple of $1,000s, which is okay. Like Miss Marlena just showed, right? If you did a rollover, if you just did one of those, I mean, man, that is amazing extra income, right? But hey, the short-term income focus, basically it's just focus on, the week sale, the months, or the long-term wealth building takes a back seat to immediate commissions. Okay. Now let's look at the agency mindset. So the agency mindset is a shift on how you define success. So instead of how much did I make, you want to start asking how many people did we help, right? You stop being the engine and you start becoming the architect of something larger than yourself. So, when I was saying when I got into OYC, God gave me a vision, right, of leading, women. Sorry for the men, but he gave me a vision of a lot of women and leading a big, big women team of empowering other people, right? But hey, when you get into that agency mindset, the goal is really to build leaders, right? Your primary job becomes developing the next generation of your top performers, people who can duplicate you, right? Your results, especially if you're here and you have a job, and if you're building a team. I mean, I can't work, in this business right now full time. So I need other people to help me build this thing, right? Um, so that's where residual income comes in. Then you get to experience that. This is long-term passive income stream and replaces the feast or famine cycle. So your income grows even when you're not in the office, in your Zoom, right? Um, and leveraging teams. So duplication and teamwork multiply your impact. So you being here on this platform, can launch dozens of successful business directors, right? This is our goal. And as Hans Augustin will share why it's so powerful to build an agency, right? Because the income here is infinite, as they always say, right? There's no ceiling to your income potential. And then the mentorship culture, the training and mentorship becomes your true competitive advantage. When you win, your team wins as well. So the agent says, hey, I need to close more sales. But the agency builder says, I need to develop more leaders, right? The single shift is really thinking in the dividing line between a six-figure producer, right? People can write with their own pen. And Mr. Samad said this last week. People are dependent on that pen. If they can't write no more, then their income drops, right? So you have to think of this too. What is the fine line between a six-figure producer and a seven-figure organization builder? I'm going to quickly go through this because I know we have a little bit of time, but I'll just skip that. But really, how agency income works, right? One, it starts with us. It starts with us as leaders. And I'm talking to myself too, because, right, when you are building, you have to do the minimum, the 3, 3, and 8. That is the core building block of our system. So it really starts with you producing personally. You want to be the example of your team, right? Maintain your skills. And remain a meaningful part of your income, especially in early stage of your building. 2, the overrides and team commissions, and Hans will go over this. You earn a percentage of what your team produces. So as your agent closes a deal, write policies and grow their own books, right? Then a portion of that revenue flows to you as an agency leader. The equity partnership. Guys, in this company, this is what makes us different, is because we get to own a part of this company. We have only maybe 4 years and a couple months left where our CEO is opening up this opportunity for profit sharing, right? And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But building passive and residual income as your agency grows, your true passive income stream, right? Your organization keeps producing even when you're not actively selling, like myself in the last month. But my team the team was still writing policies. So that's the power of leverage, you guys, right? So income is based on what the team produces together, right? And your ceiling is your team's potential. So making that mindset shift from agent to agency builder is one of the most important transition, right? So it really requires letting go of the identity of being the best producer, because in my other company, I did make 6 figures in my own pen. But if I stopped for a week, then my income stops. So you really have to embrace this new identity of really becoming a developer of great producers like yourself. So you want to master the craft first. You want to learn the system, plug in, start recruiting, mentoring, identify 1 or 2 people you can invest in. Train them like you wish someone has trained you, right? Your first win as a leader are their wins in the field. I love that, right? Leverage the system. We have a system in place and we celebrate team wins. So you guys, the choice is yours. So commission is earned from your own production as an agent, but as an agency builder, commission becomes the result of your leadership, your training, your culture, and your ability to help others win. So the most powerful question that you want to ask yourself today as you take this journey in your business is, am I building a job or am I building an organization? Okay? Think about that. So the answer determines everything about your future income, your freedom, and your impact. So thank you guys. My time is up, but just wanted to
Let's
give you a
go. Let's
mindset
go.
before Mr.
Fire,
Hans.
fire, fire.
Yay.
Let's go.
Golly, I'm afraid to go behind that. I almost don't want to present, Miss Howard. But I will give you guys the less better version of what I could do right now because I feel like Miss Howard just really closed the deal in, but I'm going to try my best. So I want you guys to recognize what she just said is that all of the business directors here on this particular call is not building a production-based model. Matter of fact, just so that you guys could recognize it, I was telling, we were having a very strong conversation this morning, myself and Mr. Samad, and what we were really saying was like, hey, this is built for agency. This model is built for agency. Even when I talk to folks that reach out to me and say, hey, no, I appreciate the insight. I'm not looking for a bigger contract. I've already seen those things. I'm not looking for a new company. I appreciate you reaching out and I respectfully wish you continued success. But what Miss Marlena just said to you guys and what Miss Howard just really, just explained extremely well is that we came to build equity and we came to build a business. And if you're here as a personal producer, that's completely fine because it's a great place to get started, but give yourself permission in the future once your heart changes towards that and once you kind of meet, because what I've identified in America, this meets the bills that you need to take care of yourself. So this is actually important. It's built based on activity. And Marlena explained it personally that these are the numbers that you want to count for. If you essentially made $1,200 and you had a 40% contract based on producing a certain amount of money, which is $250, you're going to get $900 up front, and then you're going to get another $300 later on in the future, which is actually great because that gives you like a future paycheck. So one of the ways that I tell you guys that you'll realize that this becomes important is that along the way, maybe your month is not the greatest version of production, but when these checks start to pop, they add value. But what Miss Howard was saying is that, hey, if you guys understand that this is the first phase of your agency developing and your first phase of being able to say, while she was building an event, she had these opportunities coming through because in her normal producer model, she would have said, hey, I can write $10,000 of my own business every month, and she would have produced $7,000 worth of income. But in the case that she's building an event and she has a team, so she has a Marlena Smith, who's a field director. She has a Monica, or she has a training associate that Brittany that just came on board. The beauty of agency development, this is the agency side. The beauty of agency development is that if the month that she wasn't able to produce income because she was focused on another part of her business, she was unfortunately dealing with a family matter, or she was addressing things that took her away and she's on vacation and she's enjoying the Trailblazer trip that she deserved. But during the Trailblazer trip, her company, her organization, her team members would have produced $3,000, produced another $2,000, that's $5,000. She would have produced another $1,000 because she would have generated a 30% difference, between her contract and that new training associate contract, Miss Brittany. I only use her name because she's brand new. I don't know if she's an associate, but either or. But with that being said, that the associate on her team member says, great, I produced 10,000 just like you because she's modeling the system, but she's enjoying Trailblazer and she did the work, so she's well deserved. But during that time, an associate on her team says, because I need to take care of myself financially, right? Because this is why Lamika checks on me consistently. Hey, are you producing a result? But has the result is being produced within her team, she would have collected a 20% difference between her contract and that associate's contract, because an associate is at a 50% revenue stream and a training associate is at a 40% revenue. And Marlena told you that basically points and calculations matter, so that you kind of have an idea of how much you can anticipate in revenue every month. So the reason why we want you guys to have a business mindset is because you want to understand where your revenue points are. So that way, when your associate team members and field directors, maybe they're not moving yet, maybe there's things going on, you check on them, you help them close transactions so that they can bring financial income to the household. And the reason why we started talking about money, it's not about the fanfare of how much you will be able to buy the money, but right now you need to be able to take care of yourself financially. So you're going to fund yourself in two ways if you're in our agency. Number one, you'll write a personal paycheck to yourself every month based on the idea of who you talk to and what you close. And as you build an organization, which is you are the first individual, and then we're going to do a 3, 3, and 8 system. So this is more of like a 3, 3, and 10 system. They wrote 10,000 and you're going to produce that. But now, in the limited time that we have, I want you guys to get excited. I'm going to explain this to you in a story format, and I hope you can pick it up in the next 10 minutes. The reason why I sold my asset is because I understood the limitations. The reason why I sold that location is I understood the limitations of the kind of income I can make at that location. Let's run the math really quickly. In order for me to open up more locations, I need to spend anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 to open a location. That's conservatively. So I'm sharing some personal information for the benefit of you. If I have to open up another location, I got to identify it. I got to find it. I need to spend $50,000, maybe $60,000 worth of equipment, depending on the location and its setup. I got to bring in employees. I got to bring in equipment. I got to bring in detergent, all of that. So before I make any money, I could easily spend $100,000, easily. Conservatively, I could spend $50,000, $60,000. Why did I sell the location? Because I understood the limitations. It's either I'm bringing in more opportunity through customers, and I have to bring in more employees to expand. But here, when I understood the compensation model of expansion, I just need to have Ms. Hawkins come on board, and she pays $125 if I personally, or this system. Now, keep in mind, we're a collaborative system. When Hans is not available, Miss Howard is available. If Miss Howard's not available, Miss Princess Map's available. If Mr. Samad's not available, hey, I've even done 3-way calls with Mr. Taylor. I will do a 3-way call, anybody who's ready to talk. But through that $125 investment, I now have a team who is working around me to help me expand the business. Now, if I expand the business well, the first marker that you have to do this to is to become a business director. The sense of urgency to get to a business director is now permission for you to become a franchise owner. For the idea that you invested $125, you helped your organization create opportunity, 80,000 in submitted business, not even cash flow, but you want a cash flow. We don't want to write bad business here. And once I did that back in May of last year, I was now able to now develop more franchises. Reason why it took me 2 years to make the decision is because I needed to understand what I was doing, and I wanted to make sure I was with the right organization and people. And I quickly understood that now, if I can physically or smartly through a system of 3, 3, and 8, which means that, hey, Hans, you become good at writing enough $8,000 business every month, you bring on 3 business partners, Along the way, some of your other business partners who believe in the system will become a business director. If this business director, like myself, Hans Augustin, and the rest of the team members who are business directors, they expand their business to producing $100,000 worth of business. That's 10 people at $10,000. That's 2 people at $50,000 in production. Whatever $100,000 means in production, I now have permission to lock in 14% gain. Limitation in ownership of a location was say, hey, it's only here. I can now travel and go help David Upton, who's a brand new associate on the team, go build an organization in California and still help team members here. If I can help David Upton become a business director and he can successfully leverage the space of hospitality and expand, as he just shared with you guys today, and his team and his organization successfully produces $100,000 per month, that means I'm going to collect $14,000 just for breezing. But I had to do the work. I got to go help him. I got to expand. Mr. Upton now brings on a beautiful associate in the, is it a young lady named Miss Christine? Is that, I forgot the spouse. I believe it's, or the fiance or the significant other. If Miss Christine joins this organization, and she says, hey, David, I love what you're doing. I love the way that you're helping people. I love the way that you're expanding the conversation with your hospitality team that doesn't understand their finances. I want to do the same thing too. She actually says, I can join for $125. Why is Hans going to jump into a plane to help her, even though David Upton knows what he's doing? Well, he might need help. Well, if I help her, I can now generate another revenue point and help her get to business director. And I will collect a 6% revenue point, the rest of the fluctuation or the rest of the growth of her business. If you guys understand money now, you begin to understand, well, hey, well, what does this mean? I now expand another location. David Upton says, Miss Christine, Christine brings on somebody. And she says, great, Hans, I really like what we were doing. I got somebody who loves working in schools. They're looking to expand in the Bay Area. And we help that individual. Now, and you know what I said? We said we because David Upton, if he understands the comp plan, he's going to come and help this brand new person in the Bay Area because he's going to potentially collect 14% of that newest business director himself. And Hans is going to fly in and support Christine and support David Upton to collect 14%, and he will collect 4% of his revenue. Now, if I did nothing that month because I'm flying around in planes, which is what the vision is. I'm giving you guys vision in the last 2 minutes. We got to go. We're going to have to come back to this.
Okay, Hans. I am pulling the plug, brother. We have $1 Million Baby coming. You guys, I know this has been fabulous. And they showed us the money. Part 2 tomorrow, Hans. Part 2. We gotta get the rest of it.
I'll be there.
But we gotta get to the $1 Million Baby. We don't want anyone waiting. Thank you so much. You guys have done an amazing job. What you guys put some ones in the chat, 1s, 8s, 100. Nobody is like Supreme Team. We are the only one on this platform doing this, just so you know, in case somebody wants to sneak in the back door and be like, hey, what you guys doing over there? No, we got it down locked, okay? And we're doing this, we're locking arms, and we're about to, it's a movement. It's a movement. You heard from Chloe what you can do in your backyard. You heard from Mr. Upton, David, what he's doing, and we all can do this. So get on the other call. We got 1 minute. We will see you guys mañana. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Marlena.
Great call, you guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Everybody have a good night.
Lay, can you end this call? Or let me see if I can take the host. Lay, are you there? Lay, can you hear me?
Think you are mute.
I'm not on mute, honey. Lay, we need you to end this call.